Hey, I'm Angie. Welcome to my podcast, Chaotic Harmony. When I was birthing humans that shared the same DNA as me, I had thought it would be so cool if just one of my tiny humans would be like me, my mini me. The idea of having a child that acted like me, thought like me, and joked around like me sounded epic, in my opinion. My thoughts were if it worked out that way, I would be giving birth to my best friend for life. I mean, who doesn't want that? This world needs more odd, weird, interesting, and overly correct people like myself. So I prayed, Dear baby Jesus, let at least one of my babies be a tiny version of me. Now, I swear I prayed too hard on that whole, I prayed on it way too much without thinking it all through. First off, I didn't expect to have as many children as I did, nor did I expect them all to act like me in one way or the other. But if I had to crown just one of our many children with the mini me title, it would hands down have to go to my youngest son, Colton, without hesitation. Never in a million years did I think I was actually going to have to figure out how to parent the me out of any child until Colton came along. He is currently 13 years old, and I can confidently say I have yet to figure out how to parent him. It is like next to impossible because he is mastered the whole mini me challenge without even trying. This little fucker knows how to play me like a fiddle. It's embarrassing to admit, but he can easily break me. When it comes to a healthy debate between my husband and I, duh, I'm always right. End of story. Happy wife, happy life was not created for no reason. It's straight up facts. Not only am I always correct, I am also very good at talking to people and shifting that conversation around in circles and confusing them, even myself at times, to the point of them giving up on the conversation or debate that we might be having. It's a skill that I mastered a long time ago. A skill that Colton must have mastered his whole damn life without me even realizing it until recently. Because he goes into every conversation with this macho, I'm right outlook that tends to drive me nuts most of the time. Life lesson number one, that's my thing, my guy. I am the OG of bullshitting. Okay, there isn't room in this house for the both of us. My husband has actually had to purposely sit in between Colton and I when we're in public, at a restaurant, whatever, more times than he should have. He ends up turning into the referee when or if Colton and I end up starting a little bickering fest. The problem I have is Colton will see something on the internet, and without looking into it, he forms his own opinion right away. I shouldn't say own opinion. I honestly think he's adopting other people's opinion. He will just, don't get me wrong, I want him to have interests in other subjects besides social media and his gaming. I want him to learn as much as he can about the world and feel comfortable enough to express himself. But my guy, don't walk or storm into my room after dark and tell me that Helen Keller never existed because you saw it on TikTok. I am going to have to get up and debunk your theory, even if that means we end up waking Dad up and having him looking at us all pissy because the both of us are arguing again over something that could be debated over later. And also, my guy, just because Helen Keller was deaf and blind doesn't mean she didn't exist. Had he did his research, he would have learned a thing or two about this. But no matter what I said that night, he wasn't having it. He was standing tall and strong with his theory that I'm almost positive he adopted from someone else. Instead of continuing on with his nonsense and the insane amount of like whisper yelling that I was doing, that I actually got really freaking good at over the years, like, knock it off, you're gonna wake Dad up. I told him to go to bed. I was done. I was checking out for the night. He needed to get out. I'm signing out. Goodbye. I couldn't handle any more of his dumb theories. Colton started walking out of our bedroom, but right before he left, he turned around to face me. And he also mastered that loud whispering. And he said, "How do you know she really existed, though? She couldn't see her here. She didn't even know she existed, Mom. That's all I'm trying to get at. That is what I'm saying." This little shit had to make sure he had the last word. Again. Like I said, I want him to explore all aspects of a story. I want him to investigate. That is the way anyone learns. Thing is, he doesn't look at all the aspects. And yeah, I get it. He's only 13. But I want him to learn how to form an opinion right away, not years later when he's already like overly corrupted. I want him to research all sides, then form an opinion, and then come to me with it. Instead of just watching one TikTok or YouTube video, then rushing into my room at all hours of the night with his crazy conspiracy theories. With that being said, having a good, healthy debate with him is impossible for me. We are both never wrong, and we are both too damn stubborn to change our minds. Just so I'm clear here, Colton doesn't just throw his conspiracy theories around like at me. Last year, this is my favorite. Last year, I was having the time of my life watching him tell my husband, not say, "Hey, Dad, this may have happened." Like straight up telling my husband the Titanic never sank. It started off with, "Hey, Dad, guess what?" and ended with my husband's blood pressure rising through the roof. I thought I was the only one that could go from 0 to a 100 when it came to Colton and his theories until that day. I even took a picture of them going back and forth over this Titanic theory just for a keepsake. I would have recorded it, however, I was geeking out way too much for any video. My husband, if you know him, he is super laid back. So whenever he gets to the point of arguing with someone and getting like heated, I tend to sit in the corner and giggle like a little schoolgirl while it all unfolds. Colton has gotten to my husband more times lately than ever over these little conspiracy theories. It doesn't matter what evidence we lay out in front of him, he sticks to his guns. And it's amazing, to be honest, only because I thought I was the only one that could do that. P.S. I do also try very hard to not ask Colton any questions on anything he may be telling me. I try like hell to avoid at all costs because our personalities don't work out very well when it comes into any conversation. So we do a lot of, "Hi, how you doing? Okay, good. That way, little debates, just little ones. How you doing? What? Oh. When I was around Colton's age, I helped pick rocks for our family farm. If we wanted to eat, we needed to help, we were told. My aunt and uncle asked my brother and I if we would help them out on their field. I didn't have to be asked twice. I loved going to their house. So yes, when are we going and can I sleep over? Their field wasn't that big, so if we worked hard enough, it wouldn't take that long. And then my cousin and I, we could hang out and do whatever. The only issue I had was compared to our fields. Theirs seemed to have bigger rocks. And these bigger rocks that they had were like magnets to the freaking field mice. The first time my uncle lifted one of those bigger rocks, a few mice ran out and were running all over in different directions. I almost lost my shit. I was screaming, "It touched me! I swear to God, it touched me!" Everyone around me thought it was the cat's pajamas. It was the funniest fucking thing they have ever seen on earth. I didn't think it was funny. Not at all. I hate mice. They are like tiny, little, nasty looking things. No, thank you. Once I got my shit somewhat put back together, I went back to my job, picking rocks. I made sure to stay far away from those larger rocks because I couldn't handle another mouse trying to play footsie with me. I already had a full bladder at that point, and I couldn't take care of it until we reached the end of the field. And at that time, I was in the middle of the field with full bladder. No trees to even try to do this at. Open field, yeah, no fun. Every once in a while, one of the family members, would pick a rock up and pretend there was something under there just to get a rise out of me. As if it did. Okay, it did. It only worked like the first 10 times, all right? God. I kept reminding everyone that I had to pee very badly. So if they stopped messing with me, that would be great because I did not want to piss myself. But all that managed to do was motivate the family even more to pick on me. But now that I look at it in hindsight, I would have done the same thing. My cousin was right next to me as we continued to pick those damn rocks. She was just as afraid of those nasty little mice. Her and we were picking a few more rocks up, and then all of a sudden, it's hard to explain. She screams and jumps up into my arms. I was holding on to her as if she were a baby. And I'm not even entirely sure how I managed to even catch her because I didn't even see her jumping up, but it was like one of those cartoon things where the woman just jumps up into the guy's arms and is holding her. But I did it. I also had my legs crossed because I was going to pee my pants. Her arms were wrapped around my damn neck, clinging on to me for dear life as she is scraping at my neck. I wasn't sure what was going on. Of course, I did have my suspicions. But then I saw what she was reacting to. Those same, and I'm only assuming, those same damn fucking mice that were petting my legs earlier. They were now running around looking for a different rock to hide under. Fuck that! I let out a scream, lost all control of myself, and fell on the ground with my cousin still attached to me. That full bladder of mine was emptied all over my cousin and I. Yeah. In the end, she wasn't pissed at me, even though she was covered in my piss. So I guess what I'm saying is, mice scare the piss out of me. Colton finds this all hilarious, and he likes to pick on me that I'm afraid of small creatures. He tries to give me shit for it, but my guy, let's not forget the day you walked into that river water and screamed, "Lobster!" off the top of your lungs and then turned into a statue, screaming and crying until someone came to save, quote unquote, save your life. Those crayfish that you assumed were lobsters were about the same size as my tiny little field mice, but they were actually kind of smaller. I honestly thought his fear of crayfish was due to the age that he was at that time. However, a couple weeks ago, when my husband and I took him to a beautiful landscape near Shawano, Wisconsin, that had a body of water, he wanted to jump in so badly. He brought a bag with all kinds of stuff. He was ready to go swimming. But he also seemed a bit hesitant at the time, and I didn't know why. He walked around slowly while he was searching for the perfect spot. Honestly, I thought it was because he was afraid that he was like, he kept telling me he could swim, and then he couldn't swim, and he could swim. Yeah, I never took my kids to swimming lessons, all right? I'm a bad mom, I guess. Either way, it took him a while, but once he felt safe, he got in. And he started walking slowly around, and I'm looking at my husband like, "Aw, our baby." And then he yelled out, "A lobster!" That was just a couple weeks ago. He's 13. After being in the water for maybe 20 seconds, he jumped back up onto the rocks that his father and I were sitting on and quickly wanted to find a new spot to swim in. I laughed my ass off. My mini me and I guess I can both agree on one thing. Bigger animals are a lot better. Fuck those tiny little nasty looking creatures. My sense of humor has been a bit unique. I'm kind of dark, sarcastic, blunt, brutally honest, random, weird. You get it. And I can keep a straight face the entire time. The best way to do it, in my opinion. I am often caught laughing at my own jokes and pranks way more than the one that it's actually intended for. Out of all the children in our family, Colton has been the one that has seemed to adopt my sense of humor the most, and even added a few of his own little twists and turns into that. He's also mastered the straight face look while pranking someone or telling a joke. If I'm being perfectly honest here, there are many times I wonder if he really is joking around or is actually being serious because he does it so well. It is safe to say he does it so much better than I do. Really, honestly. I want to be proud of him for mastering such skills. However, he tends to target me more than I would like. Not cool, my guy. I am obviously your teacher because I am the only funny parent in this household. So play nice. I don't want to crumble like that mannequin you tried shaking hands with at Fleet Farm. Okay? I just don't. When it comes to being in public settings, my mini-me and I tend to act like ourselves. We don't change. What are we supposed to act like, Honestly. We're supposed to act like somebody else? No, we act the same. It may be embarrassing to the ones that are with us, but I like to lay the blame on them for taking us somewhere and expecting us to act differently or normal, as they try to say. Why can't you lower your standards and act less mature? That's my theory. I don't want to brag or anything, but I was told on several occasions I was, and I quote, the best mom ever by a few Walmart employees. If an employee from Walmart is saying shit like that, well, then I know I'm doing my job correctly. Just saying. I would consider myself to be one of those dance like nobody is watching type of moms. I dance to my own tune in an aisle, wherever we are. I don't care. I say embarrassing things on purpose just to get a rise out of people. I could go on and on, but you get the point. My newly crowned mini-me is the best at all of this. But it's even funnier because he doesn't realize that what he is doing is actually embarrassing. He's trying not to be embarrassing, but he is, which makes it even more amazing in my eyes. He is so random and unpredictable. Taking him anywhere is like rolling the dice. Number one, plan on him saying something random and possibly inappropriate without looking around at his surroundings. Number two, expect him to order his food with some sort of accent that he is practicing that week. So far, we've got a Russian accent, Australian accent, and he pretends he's from England. So yeah. Appreciate the lack of fucks he has when it comes to what others people think. He is clearly comfortable. And honestly, not many kids are these days. Other words, if you see my mini-me and I in public acting like fools, either you join us or you keep on walking. Don't rain on our parade. Growing up the way I did, I could never be super picky with anything. It was either you eat or you don't. Either you wear what is in your closet or you go out naked. All right. I couldn't go out naked, but you get the point. Once I got older and started making my own money, then and only then I had a choice. And every single day after that, I became even more picky with everything. And I mean everything. All the way down to how my towels are folded and my toilet paper is hung. OCD, baby. My husband has made the comment, you would never have survived in a concentration camp. many, 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 many times over the last 15 plus years. He is mostly correct. I don't like the taste of plain water. I only drink Propel. I don't like a lot of different foods. So I order the same meal from any restaurant we ever go to. And the waitresses, they know me and they know it. And I also stick to a menu at our house. I never try new things. I am lying on that. I have been trying new things, but once I like it, that is it. I don't try anything else. I stick with the same brands of clothes because that's just the way it is. But that's to the extreme. I take that to the extreme because I have all my clothes are one brand and my shoes are also matching. So I kind of do understand what my husband is saying, but he needs to realize he is and has been the money supply, my money supply. He is enabling this picky ass that he's complaining about. And he helped enable my mini me into the same monster. When it comes to Colton, though, my husband rarely says no, which is totally uncool. He'll use the, he's our baby, is what he says. If I try to call him out on that, baby or not, my guy, you do not need a package, a whole package of sugar cookies from Quick Trip every single day. It's bad enough. His main food groups right now are mozzarella sticks with extra marinara sauce, mini corn dogs, cereal, and on occasion, chicken nuggets. Colton is just like his mama. Very picky and not ashamed to admit so. As much as Colton annoys the hell out of me, my prayers were answered. I truly did give birth to my best friend for life. Even if we can't always get along or be in the same room, he kind of has to be my best friend because he is exactly like me, to a T. He even looks like my mini me, blonde hair, blue eyes, pale see-through skin, and freckles for days. He is literally the male version of myself, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Hey, my guy, if you're listening, we can be different together forever. What do you say? You in? Thanks for tuning in and allowing me to be a part of your day. If you haven't already, go on Facebook and check out my page, Chaotic Harmony. Give her a like, follow it, whatever. Now, do me another favor, a huge one, and embrace the weird and the weirdos like myself and my mini-me and make normal feel boring. Bye!